From earning over $16 million playing in the NBA to having a net worth of almost nothing, this former NBA star played side by side with basketball legend LeBron James, but is now a complete shadow of the greatness he once represented. A big thanks to him mysteriously losing his wealth and becoming homeless. This is Delonte West's story, his journey from grace to grass. Your environment typically shapes you, which is pretty much what happened with Delonte. As a young lad, he struggled to fit in. Making friends was very challenging. He was bullied a lot and was often treated like an outcast in his community because he was light-skinned and had red hair. In addition to that, things were not exactly rosy at home. His parents were poor and later got divorced. This caused him to struggle with his personality and would be a leading cause of his mental issues in the future. But despite his social struggle, Delonte's love for basketball shined the brightest. You might not see him with many friends, but when he had a ball in his hands and you'd watch him shoot hoops, you could tell he was going to be one talented player. By the time he was 12, he was already showing so much passion for the game. Plus, it kept his mind in check, and it was the only thing that made him happy. Unfortunately, he had to stop playing for a while after he suffered a severe injury and had to be sidelined. Being sidelined caused him to fall into depression, which was so serious that his mom was unsure how to help him. Eventually, she decided it would be best for him to live with his dad, but that was of little help. His dad didn't care much for him and wasn't interested in making him feel better. He eventually found solace in abusing prescription pills and alcohol, which were readily available in his new school. Soon, Delonte recovered from his injury and was able to play again. His talent helped him stand out while he was in high school. In his senior year alone, he made an impressive average of 20.2 points, 3.9 assists, 6.5 rebounds, and 3.1 steals per game. This ultimately earned him the Washington Post All-Med Basketball Player of the Year. Delonte's position as a star player boosted his confidence to a level, and it got better when he led his team to their first tournament appearance. The tournament went pretty well, and they made it to the Maryland 4A championship. He scored 22 points and grabbed 8 rebounds. But unfortunately, despite his solid performance, they lost the game 70-58. A heartbroken Delonte picked himself up and shifted his focus to college ball. St. Joseph's University was Delonte's step to greatness. He effortlessly averaged 18.9 points and helped the Hawks to achieve a 30-2 record and an appearance in the Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament. Delonte left St. Joseph in his junior year, and in the first round of the 2004 NBA draft, he was picked by the Boston Celtics. Delonte's time with the Celtics was a dream come true, and luck was definitely on his side. In a game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, he scored 31 points and made a career-high 12 free throw shots, leading the Celtics to victory in several games. His time at the Celtics soon ended after a successful move to the Cleveland Cavaliers, where he built a special connection with LeBron James. On April 27, 2008, in a game against the Washington Wizards, Delonte showed why he deserved to be on the team after he received an open pass from LeBron James to nail the game-winning three. They eventually took the series 4-2. LeBron and Delonte's positive connection was definitely a delight to watch, but was never meant to last. What we thought was a match made in basketball heaven was thrown into the mud after LeBron found out Delonte was sleeping with his mother, Gloria James. Many sources claim the news caused a strain in their connection, and the main reason the Cavs lost the NBA Eastern Conference Final. Although the affair wasn't fully confirmed, Delonte himself confirmed it might have happened. In an interview, he explained why he didn't name his first son after him, saying he didn't want his son to be made fun of because people would know who his dad was. I don't want my son going to school and people making fun of him for something his daddy did. Oh, didn't your daddy have sex with LeBron James' mama? Man, I don't want to deal with all that. But Delonte had a lot more to deal with, as he derailed badly in his rookie season. He suffered several injuries that forced him to appear in only 39 games. During the 2008 preseason, Delonte broke down on several occasions, including at a preseason game where he exploded at a referee after the Cavs lost. He also lashed out at his teammates whenever they lost. His behavior was unacceptable, but the Cavs organization was not willing to suspend him just yet. Instead, he was made to talk to a therapist. His session with his therapist showed that he had bipolar disorder. Although he initially accepted the diagnosis, he later disputed it. Delonte's troubling behavior would only take a turn for the worse after a shocking revelation. In 2009, Delonte was arrested for possession of dangerous weapons. He had been stopped for a simple traffic violation, but things went bad quickly for Delonte after he was searched. The police found 3 guns on him. He had a shotgun in a guitar case, a pistol in his waistband, and a revolver strapped to his leg. Again, Delonte was in the media for all the wrong reasons. He claimed he was moving it for safekeeping after his mom told him some kids in the family found it in a closet. Regardless, he had no permit to move such dangerous items and was charged to court. He pleaded guilty to weapons and traffic charges. Still, the judge went pretty easy on him and only sentenced him to 2 years of probation, 8 months of electronic monitoring, and 40 hours of community service. During this period, Delonte was already going through the worst financial crisis. However, he was still able to keep himself under a roof. The Cavs were finally done with him and let him go after the 2010 season. It took about a year before we saw Delonte playing in the US again. This time, he joined the Mavericks, but it was short-lived. After 1 season and playing 44 games thanks to multiple injuries, including a dislocated right ring finger, he was released. But it turned out his release wasn't really because he was injured. Instead, it was due to his unpredictable mood changes and constantly attacking his teammate after losing a game that led the Mavs to suspend him. He was on the verge of losing his entire NBA career at that point. Luckily, he got to play with the Texas Legends, but this time they were also short-lived. At that point, Delonte's NBA career came to a devastating end. And that was it. Nothing was heard from him for the longest time. He wasn't seen at games, and the media had nothing to say about him. He just went off the radar. But in 2016, photos of Delonte went viral after a fan posted pictures of him looking lean, unkempt, and probably homeless. In the photos, Delonte was wearing a flannel shirt over a hospital gown, covered by a vest, and carrying a cup, probably filled with alcohol. The fan saw Delonte at a gas station and wanted to take pictures of him after recognizing him. The fan went on to post the images with the caption, "Another pic of ex-NBA player Delonte West. Bro had hospital robe on like he escaped from the psych ward or some." I asked what happened, and he said life. Regardless, Delonte denied that he was homeless. And that was it again. Nothing was heard from him. And this went on for almost 4 years, until another video of Delonte West went viral. And it wasn't only sad, but disappointing as well. The video showed Delonte getting beaten by an unknown man in the middle of the street. And it only got worse. Body cam footage showed a homeless Delonte being put into handcuffs and rambling about being the gang's leader and being the real president of the United States. It was sort of clear that something was off with Delonte from the initial photos. However, it became obvious that the former NBA player was still struggling badly with his mental health. After the video went viral, love and support began pouring out from many NBA players on social media, including GM Danny Ainge, a former GM for Boston Celtics. He secured Delonte a scouting job with the Celtics, but was fumbled by Delonte's mental crisis. He was always late or didn't show up at all, forcing the Celtics to release him. According to Danny Ainge, Delonte has obviously some troubles and some trials that he's trying to deal with in his life. And I just hope that he can fix his life and get back on a good path. By September 2020, there was no denying Delonte was homeless after he was spotted holding up a sign and asking for money. Delonte's heartbreaking situation moved Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban to take steps toward helping him. According to Mark, it took a while to get hold of him, but he finally met with him. Mark Cuban helped Delonte get into a drug rehabilitation treatment center and paid for the hospital home he stayed in. Delonte West seemed to be getting better to delight many fans, especially after Mark posted a picture of Delonte on a horse with the caption, "Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Delonte West." A long way to go, but he has taken the first steps and shared these with all of us as a thank you for the love and support. Delonte got a job, and everyone thought everything was great now, only for him to appear in the news for all the wrong reasons. Delonte had been drinking heavily and was banging on the doors of the Boynton Beach police station in Florida. The police had to retain him, but he kept on cursing and harassing the police officers, yelling that he was better than Michael Jordan and LeBron James. The police eventually released him, and he went under the radar again. But early this year, it was reported that Delonte was working on making a comeback. Apparently, he had been practicing at the Pat the Rock Basketball Academy in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and he is really doing well. Struggling with mental health is one of the most challenging things that can happen to anyone. If there is one thing to take away from Delonte's story, no matter how much you fail, never give up on yourself, and always accept the help from the people that love you. Hopefully, he continues on the right path to becoming a better person. And since you are still here, check out this video right here. It will have you hooked.